What's up, everyone? I hope you're having a blessed day. We're glad you could make it here. My name is Cameron Tucker. I'm here with,
Chase.
and this is
Just Vibes Podcast.
So remember, like, subscribe, turn your notifications bell on, and hit us up if you would like to be in a video.
Sure.
Today's episode, we are talking about
Fear.
No, but we're talking about fear. This is something, Chase brought up. I'm going to let him take the lead on this, and it's a big topic, so let's get right into it.
All right, y'all. Just want y'all to, keep y'all ears open and just let me speak to
Let the brother speak.
But all right, this is a pretty serious topic. In terms of fear, it's what holds you back from achieving your goals. Okay? That's really how I would break down fear, because I suffer a pretty big fear every day. You know, every day I wake up, I have a fear that I'm gonna fail. And it's pretty deep, to be honest with you. I've had this since, I've been moving around, kicking it. I've always been afraid to fail. So it's held me back from trying new things, because I was like, am I gonna be good at this, stuff like that. And my mindset was always messed up because I couldn't go past and achieve what I needed to do. So I've been afraid to fail, and I'm just getting out of it. I still deal with it every day, like I said, little things, like this SAT I got coming up in a couple weeks. I'm afraid that I'm not gonna get the score that I want. But I realized I tell myself every day, you can't think like that, because if you think like that, you're gonna fail. It's like a psychological thing. You think like this, you're gonna fail. That's what I think fear is. If you think you have whatever that fear is, you keep on thinking about it, it's gonna happen. So you gotta keep your mind off of it as much as possible. Like this bracelet I wear, it says, failure is opportunity. I wear this bracelet every day because it keeps on reminding myself, if you fail, there's an opportunity for you to get up and keep on doing what you got to do. Because sometimes I lose sight of that. I'm going to be honest with myself, because that's what I got to be. I have to be honest with myself. I lose sight of that. So I just keep on thinking, failure can't be an option. I have to be a perfectionist as much as possible. If I fail, I'm done. No, I can't think like that. I will never get anywhere in life if I think like that. That's what I tell myself every day. So I have to keep on remembering, failure essentially is good, because that's going to make you hungrier. That's going to make you want it more. That's going to make you keep on going. So failure is good. That's what I tell myself every day. But that's my personal fear. I think if anyone else has that fear, come and talk to me, because I can help you out. Because I'm telling you, it's a big thing. It's a very psychological thing in terms of fear. But yeah.
Yeah, I think, all that stuff, fear of failure is a big thing. I feel like that's the most universal type of fear. Everybody goes through that. And like Chase said, and we said this on our previous episode, you got to you got to fall forward. You got to take this as, okay, now I know what to do. You know what I mean? Now I know
What it feels like.
Yes, I know what it feels like. I know I don't want to feel like that again. It's like when you lose a game, whether you play football, rugby, whatever, like, oh, we lost this game. Oh, I know how that feels. I don't want to feel that again.
Nope.
And it's the same thing with preparing for a test. Like, okay, I didn't do well, but let's analyze. Let's analyze, what I did really well, what I could study more, and go from there. Me and Chase were talking in the past couple of days. I've been learning a lot about Marcus Aurelius, and he has this whole book called Meditations, and I'm actually looking to buy it. But the video I watched, it says in this book Meditations, he talks about fear, and he says the only thing you should ever fear is not fulfilling your potential. Is not fulfilling your greatest potential. So please, everybody out there, remember that. Remember that. That should be the only thing you should fear. You shouldn't be scared of anything. Like, you shouldn't be scared about the dark. You shouldn't be scared about
heights.
Heights.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be scared about anything, because like, you can only hurt yourself.
For sure.
And your mind can be your greatest ally
And
and your greatest enemy. You know, so I just thought that quote was so good. After that, I was like, I gotta get this dude's
You
book.
gotta
He's
get
so
this
cool.
dude, bro.
He's a Marcus Aurelius. Just a little backstory. He was a Roman emperor. I forget which century, but really, really, really cool guy. But he's considered like one of the greatest people ever, besides like Jesus, of course. But not even joking. But yeah, leading to that, the only thing you should fear is not fulfilling your potential. You know what I mean? And when it comes to like being a perfectionist, I see how people could twist that into being a perfectionist. No, it doesn't mean that. Just take everything as a grain of salt. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I didn't do well, but let's keep going.
Let's keep on going.
You know what I mean? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Because it's not how many times you succeed, it's how many times you fall and get back up. And that's the biggest thing when it comes to fear. Like I feared a lot of things, you know what I mean? But recently I feel like I've had like a breakthrough, especially at like learning about Marcus Aurelius and all the things like he taught and he wrote in his journal. You know, shouldn't fear anything. And now I don't. You know what I mean? Like I said, the only thing that I fear now, number one is God, and number two is not fulfilling my potential. So that's what I had to say about fear and stuff. But you got another example?
I think for me, in terms of fear, I'm gonna be honest with you, I have been afraid of heights. Okay, Mr. Pilot over here has helped me break that barrier.
I have.
So it was just maybe a month ago, back in July 2023. Went to Six Flags. Okay, what was it, Superman jump?
Yes.
Yeah. I did not want to get on the Superman. He'll tell you, I didn't want to get there. See, but he kind of pressured me. He forced me. And I got on the ride. We went up. Kept going up. I was like, okay, when is this thing gonna fall now so I can get through this? But it was a good experience. I can't complain about it. Having fun with my dog. I can't be mad.
And he did it. And now he loves roller coasters.
Now I love roller coasters.
So
and the next thing you know, with me jumping out of planes. So that's another thing.
Exactly. And that's what I'm like. Yo, you want to be a airborne? Yo, you want to be Army Ranger? You're gonna have to jump out of planes with people shooting at you. You gotta get used to it now. So.
Yeah. But I feel better about myself in terms of heights. I have no issue about it. My body, I'm forcing myself to get out of that fear. That's another thing that I want to get into. You have to force yourself out of that fear. If you don't force yourself out of that fear, you're just gonna keep on going into a backward cycle, and it's never gonna change. So if you don't break out of that, it's basically a habit, to be honest with you. It's a really bad habit. A fear is basically a really bad habit because you keep on doing it and you're not changing it. So with the fear, you have to get out of that standpoint and you have to change yourself into making yourself a better person out of it, if I may say. Because when you break that fear, you elevate. You become more proud of yourself because you're like, okay, I'm not afraid of that anymore. Like people, maybe in terms of they're afraid of water, spiders, snakes. I don't know. Fears go above and beyond.
It's different levels of it.
Yeah. But with me, like I said, my fear is afraid of failing. I just broke my fear of heights, But everyone has to break their fear to keep on going and feel proud of themselves. Because once you break that fear, you're like, oh, I'm stepping up, I'm leveling up, keep on doing what I do. And it's this great quote. Actually, it was this song on Do Not Disturb. I forget what album, More Life album. He said, saw a side of myself I never knew. So when you break that fear/habit, you saw a side of yourself because it's like, okay, I broke that fear, so you see the good side of yourself now.
And the other thing I'll say is that fear is an illusion. This world is full of illusions, okay? Like, don't believe a lot of the things you see, you know what I mean, without proper backing.
Yep.
And like fear, if you're religious, fear is the enemy's way of trying to get you in your head and get you stuck in your head. Like, oh, I can never do this, or I'm too scared. When really it's just an illusion. Like you can do anything you put your mind to. And I'll say a really good movie that I think everybody who's watching this right now, if you're interested more in this topic, is After Earth. with Will Smith and
Yeah.
Jaden Smith.
Yeah.
That movie is based around fear,
Fear.
because the aliens that they're trying to fight, they will kill you if you like fear them. You know what I mean? So it's like it's so cool. And like one of the closing lines when Jaden, I forget what character he was playing, what the character's name, but if that last fight scene and he could just hear his dad speaking in the background, everything, he was telling him, or actually no, it was before that, and he was just explaining like, yo, fear is nothing, like danger is real. Danger is very real, and you should be concerned about danger.
Sure.
But fear, you shouldn't fear anything.
Nothing.
And then the other thing I'll say, people get fear and being anxious mixed up.
Completely.
You know what I mean? Like anxiety can be bad. Trust me. I really dealt with really, really bad anxiety when I was in the 3rd grade.
For sure.
And I got over it, thank God, but it was bad. But anxiety can also be good. Anxiety can get the job done, as Drake says in one of his songs. So, use anxiety as a motivator, and don't get fear and anxiety confused. Anxiety can turn into fear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you should use it like, if you got butterflies before a game, like, oh, I'm just gonna use this.
You gotta
know what
use
I mean?
that.
I'm anxious. Let's go. You know what I mean?
That's another thing I want to get into.
Oh yeah.
People don't know how to channel that. I deal with that personally. I deal with that. That's what they call performance anxiety. I deal with that. So with that, you have to channel it. Now everyone struggles with it. I struggle with it, having to channel that energy into doing well. I struggle with that. So I do my best. Actually, you know what? I work on it. I'm not doing my best yet. I work on it. I know when I had to take my fitness test at West Point, this was what I needed to. It's one of my requirements I had to do to get into West Point. I was nervous as I don't know what. I had to wake up at 4:30 in the morning, right? I had to take my test at 5. Like the sun's just coming out. Like my eyes are just waking up. So I'm like, okay, if you don't do well, you're not getting into West Point. Like that's the bottom line of it. If you don't do well, you're not getting into West Point. So I had the ball throw. They're pretty good on that. Went to the pull-ups. They're like, I think I did like 8 or 9, something like that. And the benchmark I think was like 8 or something like that. So I did that. But my specialty is push-ups. That's what I do. That's always
push-up king. You need to do 100 push-ups a night. I'm like,
yeah. But me is with push-ups. I'm good at pull-ups. I do great pull-ups. My goal is to end up hitting 15, 20 probably by the end of this year. So I keep on working on it, to be honest with you. But then I had to go to the shuttle run after that. Did good on my shuttle run. Then I had to go into the sit-ups. Did, I think, 89, 90 sit-ups in a row. So then I was actually second because somebody hit 90. They were first. I was second. I was right behind them on the most sit-ups during that CFA cadet fitness assessment time. So now I was like, yo, we're almost done. We getting through this. Then we went to the push-ups. They, I think, what was it, like 53, 54. Now, remind you, my body's tired, so I had to push myself. So I had to use that anxiety and push myself. Then I had to go to the mile to get on the mile, and I was done. And I ended up passing the whole test with flying colors. So, I used that performance anxiety, and I pushed myself to keep on going so I could achieve my goal, like I said, to get into West Point. So, because I knew it was on my mind, so I was like, we got to get this done.
Yeah, you gotta use your anxiety as a motivator.
For sure.
And even you gotta use fear as a motivator sometimes too. You know what I mean? You can't let it corrupt you, because again, it's an illusion. It's all an illusion. You know what I mean? So you have to get past it. And when you get past that, man, it's nobody can stop you. Nobody can stop you. So, that, I feel like that was a great example. And the military is filled with that. Whatever branch, you're gonna have to get over.
You deal with fear, deal with limits, deal with everything.
Yeah.
And the next topic y'all gonna love too, because that deals with that as well.
Yeah. So, that goes for fear. Remember, like I said, I'll say it again, it's an illusion. Mm-hmm. So don't believe in it. Like I said, danger is real. So watch out for danger. But yeah. But that's pretty much what I gotta say on fear. You good?
I'm good, yo.
Well, everyone, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know if you would like to join us in one of our videos. And just a little disclaimer, you know, we have this, like, this is the second video. We had to send clothes on. We record our videos in bunches.
So
it's
we
like,
will release them in a certain time frame.
Yes.
Like today is Sunday, the 13th of August, 2023. We recorded 3 episodes this same day.
Yeah.
So we're just letting y'all know.
You'll probably get this like 2 weeks from now.
Yeah,
so
2 weeks from now.
That's just how we don't want, you know, y'all to think like, oh, why do you always wear the same outfits?
Same fit.
So
no, we wear a different fit every single episode.
Yeah.
I know me, I wear something different every time.
Yeah.
Different shoes, different pants, and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we keep it, you know, that's how we do it. So don't think we're dirty people. But thank you for joining. Remember, stay blessed, be blessed, stay safe. And always, this has been another great episode on Just Vibes Podcast. Deuces.